National headlines matter, but what happens here in Cleveland and across Ohio matters more. That's what we talk about every day. This is the Jake Underwood Show on AM 1420. The Answer.
Hello and good morning. Welcome into the Jake Underwood Show right here, AM 1420 The Answer, 102.9 FM, or you can watch us on Rumble, you can watch us on X, YouTube, just search the Jake Underwood Show. I am Jake Underwood, the man behind the glass is one Mr. Kenny Kidd. Good morning, Kenny.
Hi, good morning.
How's it going, Kenny?
Great.
Very good. We're laughing because sometimes to kind of wake up, I do like a Tarzan type yell. And I'm
used to it, but
yeah. I forgot that the camera was on and we were streaming and people could see. So if you're watching, you got to see that. Welcome and good morning. That's how that works on this Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dudes, and it's July 15th in the beautiful year that is 2026 in the greatest Cleveland area, and a lot of stuff going on that we're going to cover today. First, normally we have Donovan O'Neill from Americans for Prosperity, a little bit of a change-up. We're going to have Adam Miller. He's the Strategic Director for Concerned Veterans of America, the Ohio chapter. I'm excited to talk to him. I realized when I was looking at it, it'd been a little bit since we've caught up with him, so I'm excited to do that. We're going to talk about the Take Care of American Veterans Act, and I'm excited to pick his brain on that. Some changes to ICE. And with the shooting and everything that happened, I don't agree with it, but I understand the logic. I'll explain that to you throughout the show. We'll get to that. Some stuff going on locally. Thousands of people without power yesterday.
Yeah, I lost power yesterday right as I was about to start cooking dinner.
Really?
Which I'm glad it happened then instead of halfway through.
Yeah.
Because we got an electric stove, so we were able to go somewhere to eat.
Where'd
but
you
if
go?
it was we just went to B-Dubs.
Nice. That's a good choice.
It was nice. They had buy one, get half off on wings.
Okay.
Which was cool.
Nice. How long was it out for?
A couple hours. It was back on by the time we got back.
Okay.
But I was not optimistic because I'm looking at the website and it said 35,000 without power in the Cleveland area. And you look at the map and it's just like everywhere.
Yeah, it was a lot of people. I'm confused as to why it's happening on the hot days. You hear heat advisory and then a bunch of power's going out. And then you're told that it's for updates? Come on. What are we doing?
Well, you know what they're doing. And they're cutting the power so you're not using it as much.
No, they're getting us ready.
Oh, sure. Getting us ready for the hot days.
No,
on the hot day.
Yeah, no, for the AI data centers.
Uh-huh.
You know, if the rolling blackouts happen before the AI data centers, then you can't say that the rolling blackouts or the AI data centers caused the rolling brownouts. I'm sorry, they call it brownouts. Wow, so you lost power. Ooh, I did not. I was lucky. Because I'm down in Medina County. I did not. But yeah, there were a lot of people that were without power yesterday. It was
and it's one of those too where you didn't expect it. You know, like I just get in.
Well, yeah, you paid for a service. You didn't expect it to just randomly cut out.
I, of course, just got back from the store, filled the fridge.
Yeah. Oh.
Soon as I shut the doors, I go downstairs to get my clothes out of the washer to put into the dryer. The light's not working.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah,
So then I go upstairs and I'm looking at the clocks, the stove, the microwave. They're all gone. My son's like, hey, the internet's out. I'm like, yeah, power's out.
I don't know why I think that's so. I just imagine
because he didn't realize that anything else wasn't working.
I was gonna say I just imagine like lights, everything go out. He's there on his phone. He's like, "Hey, what happened to my YouTube video?" That's really funny. So for a few hours it was
a
out.
couple hours.
Okay.
It wasn't bad, but I was stressing it because I'm looking at my phone. I got 44% on my phone. I'm like, all right, well, I got a backup battery, that I could plug it into if need be. I'm like, but I just filled the fridge.
Yeah.
And that happened like a couple years ago when I just filled the fridge and it was out for like 2 days.
Yeah.
So everything was done.
Wow. Yeah, I mean they were saying that because they're doing a bunch of updates to things.
Yeah.
And I guess the final report that came out, because First Energy, I'm quoting WOIO here, 19 actually reached out to First Energy. They were like, hey, what's going on over there, guys? It's kind of the question that they asked, and they gave an update. It said, we understand how frustrating it is for customers to experience another outage, especially after power had been restored from an earlier interruption in the area. After service was restored, equipment at a local substation automatically shut down, as designed to protect critical electric system infrastructure from damage. The shutdown resulted in a larger outage, affecting customers on the west side of Cleveland. Since then, crews have restored power to all affected customers. So I guess it went out, and that's when it was like almost 36,000 people were without power.
Yeah.
And then by 8:50, it was on, and then it went off again.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Outages increased to nearly 15,000. Then outages as of 10 o'clock last night were at 7,100, and then by 10:30 it was all restored.
Okay, see, when we got home, the power was back on, and actually my wife got the text as we were at the gas station. I was getting iced tea, and I was going to grab ice.
Yeah,
just to
to
throw in a cooler in
right.
case it. By the time we went to bed, if it wasn't back on, I was going to grab food out of the fridge and get it on ice.
Wow.
But as I'm about to get by the ice, my son comes running, and he's like, "Dad, power's on." She got the text,
He's like, I got internet. YouTube's working.
But then when we got home, I started working, getting things done that I should have been able to get done earlier, but I couldn't. And the internet was like in and out, and the fan that I had in the garage was like getting slow, and I was like, oh no, here we go again.
Because the stuff you do, you're in the garage.
I'm in the garage with it usually.
No, and there's no AC in the garage.
No AC,
No.
but I could smoke in the garage, so that's why I like working in the garage. I can work in the basement. I got a studio in the basement, but I can't smoke in the basement.
Yeah, no, I mean,
so priorities.
Right, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that was because I heard there were a lot of people that the power outage stuff was affecting.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
But I mean, if this is going to happen every time we have a hot day, what are we doing? And if you know that, and if you know this, maybe a little heads up to people.
That's really what I don't understand is just the heads up.
You can text us when the power comes back on, but you can't give us a text when you know it's going to go out.
Yeah, and don't send an email. Don't do that. Don't send an email to your customers. Send a text message
or a voicemail, pre-recorded, whatever it's got to be.
Yeah, hey, this is so and so from such electric company. Just so you know, because it's hot, there might be a chance that the power goes out today.
So then maybe I might go grocery shopping tomorrow.
Right. Right. Or you know what they could do? They could just have
$400 worth of food in the fridge going bad is not good.
Right. Or they could just have Mayor Mondani call everybody. He loves telling people to turn their thermostat, to a certain degree, and maybe the power wouldn't go out.
See, the thing is, if I had my air off, I don't think it would have made a difference.
You don't know that.
I don't.
Maybe it was your air conditioning. That's what caused it all.
Okay, probably. Blame me.
That's what overloaded the system.
Blame me.
Way to go. So to everybody that lost their food, send the bill to. No. Yeah, it's just we're noticing it more and more and more, and I always find it interesting that people are like, well, you got to turn the AC down. Or crazy idea, maybe the company should keep up with the thing that they're selling. Maybe they should do a good job. Maybe they should do a better job at that. Because I'll tell you what, if every day we came in here and the mics were cutting out, or the computer wasn't working right, they would replace it.
Or every time we go to play a sponsor, it would cut off halfway through. You think our sponsors would be happy with that?
Right, unless it's a stream. We're working on that. But no, put money back into it. Like we need to. It's been decades.
Yeah, but they got us. They got us because what are your other options?
Well, don't you know you could just go buy a $50,000 backup generator with some solar panels? And,
sure, yeah.
Yeah. Just do that.
Not on what I'm making here.
See, the problem, Kenny, you're eating too much avocado toast. We talked about it yesterday in the after show. If you didn't drink Starbucks and eat avocado toast, you'd have to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about a local man who was arrested because he was making threats to some politicians. How about that? This is the Jake Underwood Show. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Jake Underwood Show right here. AM 1420, The Answer, 102.9 FM, or you can watch us on social media. That's the best way to say it. Look up the Jake Underwood Show, because we're on all platforms except Facebook right now, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, we're on X, Rumble, YouTube. Just search the
How's
Jake
YouTube
Underwood
going?
Show.
I'm surprised that was up yesterday.
So the podcast itself gets banned, but after the show, we put the show together. We put it out on podcast. Best way to, if you want to listen to it, WHKRadio.com. Best way to find that. We're on Spotify also when you search the Jake Underwood Show. iHeart app, which I still don't understand, but that's fine. But YouTube will ban it. It's banned. It's blocked. Sometimes it's because of the music. Other times it is because of the content. And I could tell it's because of the content because they don't say why. They just say that if you want to appeal it, you can.
Which I'm sure never goes.
No,
in your way,
no, absolutely
in your
not.
favor.
No, it says you'll hear back within 30 days. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's great. But yeah, the videos are still up, which is interesting. So I don't know how that works, but that's where we're at.
Cool.
So yeah, as I said before the break, local man got arrested. Elyria. Police have arrested a man for making terrorist threats toward elected officials and officers. This is from, once again, WOIO. 28-year-old Elyria man is under arrest on several charges that include making terrorist threats, according to a social media post made by the department. Chad Smith. 28-year-old.
Looks like a Chad Smith.
Yeah, don't be a Chad, please. Following an investigation into threatening comments posted on social media on July 11th, Elyria police identified Chad Smith as the suspect. On Tuesday, a search warrant was executed at Smith's residence, and he was placed under arrest. Smith has been charged with making terroristic threats, inducing panic, and aggravated menacing. The police said, for the safety of our community, it is the highest priority. We will not tolerate threats or intimidation directed at citizens we serve, our elected officials, or our officers. Anyone who believes they can hide behind a keyboard to make violent threats should understand that we will investigate those threats, identify those responsible, and pursue every criminal charge supported by the facts and the law. Social media is not a shield from accountability, and this arrest should serve as a reminder that violent threats have real consequences. The keyboard stuff, the social media keyboard warrior stuff. What is? I don't understand the mindset of those people. I really don't. I mean, it's almost on the same parallel as the people that sit there and they say off the wall stuff just to get likes, clicks, and retweets. Like it is that same mindset. What did you think was going to happen? Like really, I wish I would talk. I wish I could talk to one, not chat. Not go back and forth on social media, but actually talk to one of these people, because I can only think of like two that I know that to be fair, I don't know that we really know the other ones, because they don't their profile picture is never their picture.
No.
Like if it's somebody on the right, it's either a gun or it's like a picture of Trump, it's something like that, and they say off of the wall stuff. And then on the other side, it's like a picture of, Trump again, which is weird, but it just, But
it's got I got my shot. It's got all that.
Yeah.
Extra stuff,
It's got the banner on it. I'm
Ukraine
saving
flag.
lives. How
Yeah.
about you? Like, it's just that goofy stuff. Like, what do people expect? Like, this is one of those people that, see, if they listen to the show, they might not have done this. And the reason why is because we talk about this quite a bit. But you're not going to change anybody's mind by taking that stand on social media. Like somebody isn't going on social media and they're like, wow, Peggy and Frank, those are two people that are really standing up for the right things. Like, no, they're not going to do that. Like, you look, you scroll past, you go, oh, that's funny, click, and then you move on. Somebody texted and said, oh, no. Did you know that Lakewood wants to get rid of natural gas lines to save the environment and depend solely on electricity?
What?
Somebody just texted that in. That's from the 216. Say it ain't so.
Why would you do that? We've got issues already.
Yeah, by the way, the first-time texter, thank you for texting that in. Elyria guy could wait. Is that true?
That can't be true. I mean, it is Lakewood, so if anyone's going to do it, I would assume Lakewood would probably try to do that. But why? Why? I mean, they were just out of power, electrical power, not too long ago, for a long time.
Right. on some of the hottest days of the year. Well, yeah, Don in Lakewood, the person who texted in on the show, he's a celebrity. But no, really, like he was talking about that. He was talking to local news crews and everything that were out there. I got to look into that a little bit more.
We need to use every form of energy that we possibly can.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that more. Not that I don't believe you, 216, but I need details.
I mean, I don't mind wind if it produces. I mean, if it helps, not only solely wind. You know,
yeah.
I don't mind solar if it produces, not solely solar. Give me everything. Give me gas, give me electric, give me wind, give me solar, give me everything you possibly can.
They just followed up and said, it's true from someone who works in the gas industry. Ugh. Yeah, I gotta look into details on that. That's crazy. Like, look, if we want to put solar panels on like people's houses and stuff, but also here's the thing. Elon Musk said it. I think he said it would take a 100 by 100 like mile square, which is solar panels that could power the United States. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know.
I don't know.
But Elon Musk is saying it. He has a pretty good understanding of it all. So I'm going to listen to him.
Yeah, but then what happens when NASA throws these satellites up there with the mirrors that are going to reflect the sunlight to try to keep it away from the Earth? Did you not see that story?
No.
Yeah, apparently they approved some kind of mirror.
What? What's happening? What's going on?
Now again,
oh man,
I'm not 100% sure that's accurate, but I did see a story on that. But that kind of falls in line with wasn't someone trying to put like some kind of dust or whatever to reflect sunlight?
Oh well, yeah, that's with the chemtrails. We're not making this a chemtrail show.
No,
but
it's like they're trying to cool the planet, but we want to use solar. You know, they're trying to do all these things that contradict everything else that they're trying to do. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
And if you're in Lakewood right now and you're out of power, and the only thing you've got is a gas stove right now, that's the only thing you can heat your food with, don't turn into Chad in Ilaria. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. You could write a strongly worded letter, but don't make threats.
Someone texted in and said most grocery stores use natural gas for their coolers. It's cheaper than electricity. Why would they? I don't understand. Why are these cities doing this stuff?
Because they're infected. They're infected with the woke mind virus.
No. How much money are they getting from the government to do this?
Well, maybe that too.
That's what it is too. How much in grants are they getting? That's why we have roundabouts, because they were free from the federal government. The majority of these roundabouts, they were paid for by the federal government.
Just because it's free doesn't mean it's good.
And
a lot of times, because it's free, means it's not good.
Right. That's my biggest concern with free college and stuff. With things like that, if it's free, think about the free cell phone they used to get on a 2-year deal.
Yeah,
at Verizon. Think
those
about that.
Bare bones,
right?
Basic phone you could get, which
it was an iPhone. It was an iPhone 5C. I remember I sold a bunch of them. They were 99 cents. Excuse me, they weren't free. But think about that. It's not gonna. It's just because it's free. And honestly, roundabouts are. I don't get it. You can't stop. Like some areas it makes sense. But like you can't just stop at a fort and look both ways. Oh, we're clear. Good on that side. All right, let's go.
I mean, I get it. It curbs the speeding down roads because you've got to make those turns instead of just.
Or people
straight.
are just plowing right through. Seen that too.
Yes, flying over them.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that because I guarantee you there's some government grants involved with that. And what they're doing is they're getting the government grants, and then they're just going to use it, and then they're going to be able to go, wow, look what we did. We made improvements. No, you made changes. Just because you make a change, government or local government, just because you want to change something doesn't mean it's going to improve. Well, but the study from the last 5 years, that's great. We haven't had that for the last 100. So we're going to change it just for the sake of change because somebody's throwing money at you to do it? So then you could turn around and say, look what we did. We did something? Come on. Make sure it's a change that's needed. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research on the. Oh man, because I don't doubt what you're saying is true, because now that I think about it, because I remember that was a big talking point with the electric stoves and getting rid of gas stoves and getting that. It's coming back to me now.
Your tax money at work.
Changing things just to change it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Adam Miller. He is the strategic director for Concerned Veterans of America, the Ohio branch. We'll talk to him when we come back right after this. Welcome back to the Jake Underwood Show right here, AM 1420, The Answer, 102.9 FM, or you can watch us. You can see what we're doing behind the scenes here. You search the Jake Underwood Show. We are on X, we're on Rumble, we're on YouTube, or if you need help finding it, go to jakeunderwoodshow.com. It's the best way to find it. That's where all your information is, as well as podcast, previous episodes, different things like that. You can all find it there, or WHKradio.com. Lots of places that you can find it. We're staying busy. That's the best way to say it. Somebody else who's staying busy, Adam Miller, and I'm excited to talk to him. Like I said earlier, I didn't realize we hadn't talked to Adam Miller in a while. And like I said, normally we have Donovan O'Neill. He's like, hey, I'm a little busy. You want to talk to Adam? And I was like, absolutely. I started looking it up. I'm like, it's been a few months, so I need to catch up with him. And he's now going to join us on the Marcello's Hot Honey Pepperoni Hotline. Of course, we're talking to Adam Miller. He is the Strategic Director from Concerns Veterans for America, but it's the Ohio branch of it there. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Jake. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. It's fun catching up with you. Real quick, for people that might not be familiar with CVA, what is it that you focus on, and what are you doing?
Yeah, CVA is a nonprofit, nonpartisan advocacy organization, and our goal is to shape a freer, more secure society where Americans are empowered to achieve their American dream. We're a movement by veterans, but we're for all Americans. So we have veterans, military families, and patriotic citizens who are inspired and determined to shape a better American future.
And so the main thing that we're focused on with this, and I the more I looked into it, the more I was like, this is actually a really big deal. We're talking about the Take Care of American Veterans Act, or for short, if you're doing research on it, it's the TCAVA. And I mean, it's really starting to gain some momentum. People that are just hearing about this bill, Adam, what exactly is it, and what are they trying to do with this act?
There's a lot of aspects of the legislation, but essentially it's an omnibus bill that takes a bunch of kind of stalled veterans legislation, military families legislation, legislation that supports caregivers, and it puts it into one package to try to get it across the finish line. Like you said, it's been a while since we've talked, and I think we talked about veterans health care in the past, but there's legislation that has been stalled for years that this package, through some compromises through the legislative process, can hopefully get all these pieces of legislation passed into one bill, as there's only a little over 20 legislative days left in 2026. So we've been working on this legislation, aspects of the legislation for a while, and we think this is a great opportunity to kind of get it across the finish line.
And so you've actually described this as finishing the job that was started by the VA Mission Act in 2018. What wasn't finished then that needs to be addressed now?
Well, after years of VA bureaucracy and agency leaders undermining veterans' access to community care that was supposed to be within the VA Mission Act, the Take Care of America's Veterans Act, it's going to protect those options by empowering veterans to seek the care that best meets their needs. So it's going to codify those community care access standards that were in the VA Mission Act and make them law for inpatient mental health referrals, community care eligibility, outreach. It's going to make sure that veterans have accurate wait times when they're waiting for care. And something that we've been excited about is a self-scheduling portal. So it's going to require the VA to develop an online self-service module that's going to allow veterans to schedule care at VA or community care facilities. It's going to allow us to receive appointment reminders, track status of referrals, and some of those appeals decisions. It's 2026. It's time to start using some of these modern technologies that we have.
Yeah, see, and I hear from veterans a lot about the VA and the wait times. What's the current system like now, and how is it working against veterans?
It really just depends on where you're located within the United States. I think we're pretty lucky here in Ohio. We have a lot of VA facilities. We have several new facilities just open throughout the state. Ohio is we're a big state, but we're kind of compact. So we have kind of the three C's, Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati. So it doesn't take too long for us to get to certain appointments, even if it's specialty care appointments. We have a lot of facilities throughout Ohio. So, there are some scheduling issues as far as wait times that we do still see here in Ohio, but it's it's really across the country. We've seen a lot of horror stories in different states. So this legislation is going to impact veterans across the country.
Yeah, it's just if there's anybody who should get help right away, it's veterans. It sounds. It's just. I think it's common sense to everybody who hears that. So it shouldn't be that crazy to get this done. They should get it done. One of the things I do want to ask you about, because you talked about it briefly, is mental health. That side of it. And as we just as a nation and with medicine and different things, we're becoming more aware of it and the effects that it can have. And I saw that this legislation, it actually sets a 48-hour timeline for urgent mental health care. Why is that so important?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, mental health is an issue across the board, but we just want to make sure that veterans aren't falling through the cracks when they're in distress and they need that care in a timely manner. There's a lot of mental health aspects of the legislation itself, but one of the big aspects is going to create a standardized process to rapidly refer veterans for priority admission to inpatient mental health care, like you were talking about. So it makes that process faster, but it also makes sure that the healthcare professionals, are following, hopefully, the new law that gets passed, and making sure that the veterans, they're not falling through the cracks and they're getting the care that they need in a timely manner.
So this bill, it also creates an oversight commission. Can you explain why some of that outside oversight may be needed?
Well, there's always oversight that's kind of needed at every level of government. I think this just provides that extra layer because, making sure that, Congress passes laws, but making sure that those laws get implemented is a whole other story. So it's called the VET PAC. It stands for Veterans Health Administration Policy Advisory Commission. So it's going to report directly to Congress on recommendations for policy improvements at the Veterans Health Administration. And we have that kind of internally at VA, but we think that, an advisory commission outside the VA kind of, looking at ways to streamline things and make things better. Again, putting veterans at the center of their healthcare is going to uplift and empower those veterans with their healthcare choice.
So I know because it is healthcare, and we're talking about medical. This if somebody's happy with the way that they're able to go about their day when it comes to the benefits, and they hear this, they might get a little antsy. What would you say to somebody who right now, a veteran who's happy with the VA today? How would this bill affect them?
So if you're happy with your VA healthcare, it doesn't impact you. I'm personally a VA patient, so I receive care inside and outside the VA currently. So there's aspects of the VA that I like better, and then there's aspects that I like community care better. We think that the Take Care of America's Veterans Act is going to strengthen both VA care and community care. So it's a positive thing.
That's great. Yeah, and by all means, I mean, accountability. You talked about the oversight committees and different things. It sounds like a great bill. Where does this bill stand today in Congress?
So we're hoping tomorrow there's gonna be a floor vote. So we're just trying to encourage as many people as possible to contact their members in the House of Representatives and just encourage them to support the Take Care of America's Veterans Act. And, this bill really invests in accountability and innovation across the entire veterans healthcare system. And it also delivers benefits to multiple veteran populations simultaneously. Some of those popular bills you might hear from people talking about the legislation, but it supports combat wounded veterans through the Major Richard Starr Act. Obviously, veterans seeking faster access to healthcare through the Veterans Access Act, but also surviving military spouses through the Love Lives On Act. So there's a lot of aspects of the legislation that is going to impact people's lives almost immediately. So, we want to get this done as soon as possible.
Has this been because it's politics, so it's always going to be goofy. Is this something that both sides seem to be backing, or is it one side over the other? Is this politically divided, or is people coming together on this?
As of now, it appears that it's politically divided, but I think once it gets to the floor for a vote, I think, a lot of people are going to put the partisan politics aside and really look at kind of the merits of the legislation and how many people that it's going to impact almost immediately. And that's kind of the message that we're trying to promote as much as possible today, and hopefully, a vote tomorrow.
So are there any stories that they come to mind when you start thinking about all the different changes that could be made that will be beneficial as to why these reforms are needed?
Yeah, me personally, I was a Marine and deployed several times overseas, and coming home and transitioning back into civilian life, it was challenging. And I know a lot of Marines that I served with, had some of the same challenges that I had. But I will say, unfortunately, it's not something we like to talk about. But my unit, we lost more Marines to suicide than we did on both of our deployments overseas. So it's personal to a lot of us, and we know that some of these kind of common sense reforms, basic reforms from our perspective, it's going to save lives. So that's kind of our message is, we got to get this done as soon as possible. Obviously, public policy legislation, things change, we can make adjustments. In the near future, Congress can always adjust things. But we think right now this is the best opportunity to get this across the finish line and to impact as many people as possible.
To the people that want to support this, what's the best thing that they can do?
Visit our website, cv4a.org. Get connected with us in our Action Center. Follow us on social media, Concerned Veterans for America, and contact your member of the U.S. House of Representatives and just ask them to support the Take Care of America's Veterans Act. We think that this bill is going to empower veterans to continue leading their families, their workplace, and their communities by removing a lot of those barriers to quality care and empowering veterans with greater access to mental health care and other aspects, we think is a positive step in the right direction.
Before I let you go, one last question. Let's say hypothetically they call you right now. They're like, "Hey, come to a DC. You're going to be able to talk on the floor. We want you to, you got a minute or two to convince us why we should vote for this." What would you say?
Well, I would say that, America's veterans possess unique leadership, resilience, and problem-solving skills forged through our service. And when unnecessary government barriers prevent not only me, but our veterans community from accessing timely care, I think America, loses the benefit of those strengths that we had in military service. So the Take Care of America's Veterans Act, it's going to remove a lot of those barriers, going to empower veterans to continue contributing to their communities, to our economy, to civic institutions, and it's going to make our country stronger.
Adam Miller, thank you for your time and thank you for your service. Let's.
Thanks, Jake.
Yeah, I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to make some phone calls, send some emails to make sure that this gets across the finish line. And thank you for your time. That, of course, Adam Miller. He is the strategic director for CVA-Ohio. That's Concerned Veterans for America here in Ohio. Big thank you for him calling. I'm going to pull up some more information on this bill just to give people a little bit more of a background because I have it here, but it's all kind of like scattered. I have it in my notes. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to put it together so people can actually, so I could tell you about it because it's pretty impressive because I know we like to talk about how government really doesn't do much, but like this is pretty good. So we're going to give it all the support that we can. This is the Jake Underwood Show. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about this a little more right after this. Welcome back to the Jake Underwood Show right here. AM 1420, The Answer, 102.9 FM, or search the Jake Underwood Show. We're on X, Rumble, YouTube, or go to jakeunderwoodshow.com to find that, as well as previous shows, podcasts, different things. A big thank you to Adam Miller for coming on and making people aware of this. So yeah, as I got the research, so I can actually, like I said, I had the notes, but it was all scattered, and I'm like, I'm not trying to read from this. But the coolest thing, and Adam Miller spoke about it a little bit, he said that it's a bunch of like little things that people want to do. They just all kind of threw it together for this. It's over 60 bills. So 60 different bills that they're putting together into this. So, this is going to have significant change. It's going to major provisions to healthcare, the benefits, as he said, mental health, which, look, there were only a select group of people that understand the mental side of it. So when you're going to have people try to say, oh, yeah, no, I get it. No, I don't think you do. I talk to friends of mine that are veterans, especially with the stuff in Iraq, and for some reason that war,
it messed a lot of people up.
Yeah,
mentally.
Yeah, it messed
really
a lot
did.
of people up. And like I said, I don't know what happened over there, but I got a friend of mine who's pretty chill with it, and he'll just talk about it, and it's like, oh my goodness.
A lot won't. A lot of people.
Oh
won't
yeah,
even,
and I
mentioned it, and you used to get that with Vietnam as well. A lot of those vets refuse to even talk about it.
And yeah, and by all means,
I don't blame them.
Yeah, no, and I was just going to say, by all means, like, I'm not going to sit here and try to pry it out of you. I'm not going to do that.
No.
That's the information. If you want to talk about it, I tell them, if you want to talk about it, I'm here to listen. Mm-hmm. If not, brother, we can go on with our day. But if you got something going on, you want to talk about it, I'll try my best to understand.
Yeah.
So they need the people that can actually understand them and help them through it. And that's the mental health stuff. It was ignored for so long. Oh yeah, so long.
It's just kind of brushed aside, like, oh, he's shell shocked. It's all right.
Yeah, right.
It was just kind of like, oh, that's just how it happened. That's just how it is.
And so we got to get them as much help.
Have to be. Yes.
No. We got to get them as much help as possible. Somebody texted and said all vets should be given a medical card. They could be used at any hospital or doctor's office. I don't disagree with that. I think that's actually that's pretty solid. Like, to me, that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Let's go to TJ. TJ, you're in the air.
Yeah, no, Jake, he was exactly right. You know what people don't realize? Once you've been in heavy combat for a period of time, you never leave.
Yeah.
Part of you never comes home. You're always there. Vietnam, 60 years ago, it's still with me, and it's probably going to take it to my grave. And I will say one thing. I don't know what's happening in the rest of the country, but the Cleveland VA does an excellent job. I've been under VA care for a while, and I think I have it better than the private sector, tell you the truth.
Wow.
But, they're not all the same, but the Cleveland VA, and I want vets out there to realize and people to realize what Trump did for us in his first term.
Mm-hmm.
He got through two bills. One was the Veterans Accountability Act, and one was the Veterans Choice Act. And they talked about this for decades in Washington, and nobody did it, and Trump got it done. And I don't know if you remember back during the Obama administration, the horror stories coming out of some of the VAs, like in Arizona.
Yep.
That's waiting for months to see a doctor and dying. Trump fixed that with these two bills, and he really pushed it through. He got it done finally. So that's greatly appreciated. But, anything they can do for my fellow vets and stuff, I think is really good.
Yeah. TJ, thank you so much.
Wait, Jake, one other thing.
Yes.
With the solar panels.
Yeah.
Do you know that these big solar arrays, these are bird killers?
Oh, the windmills, right?
The solar panels. The heat generated above them literally fry birds as they're flying over too low. That's, what they want to do. And one other thing, too, quick. When you're talking about these data centers,
mm-hmm.
they have something called the closed-loop circuit, where they take the same water and keep recycling it, not releasing it. Now, the companies don't want to do it because it costs money to put this system in.
Right.
But to me, that's the solution. You force them to put that closed-loop system in, and then you don't have to worry about contaminated water.
Yeah, no, TJ, I agree with that. Real quick, TJ, how's your dog?
Trooper? He's he's a 105-pound black German Shepherd. And I'm kind of worried because in our neighborhood here, the Brooklyn Heights police spotted a black bear on Shaft Road. And I'm worried Trooper gets out and somebody will mistake him for a black bear,
Well,
Yeah, but he's a good dog. He's kind of a butthole sometimes, but German Shepherds, they're really smart,
right?
And like he'll do what I want him to do, but every command in his mind is debatable.
TJ, we got to go to break, and thank you for the call. No, he brought up a great. Trump has done a lot when it comes to veterans. That's honestly one of the reasons I voted for him 3 times. Because I knew he was going to take care of the vets. This is the Jake Underwood Show. We're going to get a check on news. We'll be back right after this.
static. AM 1420 The Answer is streaming crystal clear on our free mobile app.
National headlines matter, but what happens here in Cleveland and across Ohio matters more. That's what we talk about every day. This is the Jake Underwood Show on AM 1420. The Answer.
Welcome into hour number 2 of the Jake Underwood Show here on this. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dudes. We're halfway through the week. It's July 15th in the beautiful year that is 2026 in the greatest Cleveland area. I am Jake Underwood. The man behind the glass is one Mr. Kenny Kidd. Good morning, Kenny.
Good morning, my dude.
How's it going, Kenny?
Great.
Very good. Some people are texting in. They're asking what that website was for the Concerned Vets Ohio, and it is cv4a.org. You could go there, find out some more information. But that bill's got to pass. That's really all there is to it.
Anything we could do for our vets, we should be doing.
Yeah,
it.
just do it.
Should already be doing it now, and if we're not, we need to correct that.
Yeah, I like I brought it up before we spoke to TJ, but somebody texted in and said all vets should have a medical card that can be used at any hospital or doctor's office. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not socialist guy. I'm not, government give out. But look, here, this is really what because here's the I want you to understand how my mind works, and it's a very confusing place, but I'm going to tell you why. Because as soon as when I read something like that I agree with, where it's kind of a political thing, my head automatically jumps to this would be the argument against it. Mm-hmm. So, like when I say I can already hear, I'm actually hearing it. It's the voice in my head.
One of them.
Okay, right. It's a lot of fun in there, but I'm already hearing that argument of, well, yeah, socialism is really convenient for you, isn't it? No. Well, look, this is how this is really what it comes down to. They're willing to risk their lives, so we should make sure when they come back, their lives are easier than everybody else's. I'm sorry, we should make sure that they're good for life. We should make sure that they're healthy. We should make sure that they get the help that they need. Why? Because they risk their lives for us. It's really that simple. Like, it's not that complicated. We could try to spin it whatever way you want, make it political, make it not. No, it's about taking care of people at that point. Because you know what? They did everything. There are some people that can't wrap their head around that. They literally put their lives on the line for us. Mm-hmm. So the least we could do is make sure they're good.
It's not socialism. It's merit-based.
Right.
Socialism's not merit-based. This is
Correct.
merit-based. They actually earned it.
Yeah,
they earned it. So give it to them.
Yeah, and they earned they in my opinion they earned even more than that. But yeah, that's a great idea. Let's see. Let's go to Cheryl. Cheryl said she did some research on Lakewood and natural gas, so we got to hear this. Cheryl, you're in the air.
Good morning.
Good morning.
County news reporter. We have two things. The first one, your texter about the city of Lakewood looking to eliminate gas lines. Mm-hmm. So, the city of Lakewood is not looking to eliminate residential or commercial natural gas lines. This misconception likely stems from recent local infrastructure updates and restriction placed on vehicle fueling stations rather than home utility lines.
Okay.
So the gas lines are not being banned. State law preemption under Ohio State Law House Bill 201. Local municipalities are legally blocked from banning or limiting natural gas.
Good.
Okay. So I don't know when he said that it was true. It is not true. What's happening is that the active infrastructure upgrades, utility companies like Enbridge Gas Ohio and Dominion Energy are actively installing thousands of feet of new low and intermediate pressure gas lines across Lakewood. These multi-million-dollar projects replace older bare steel pipelines. And so that's what they're doing.
Okay. All right. So they're upgrading things. Okay.
Yes, they do. So, and number two,
yes.
Were you aware that the Cleveland Public Library workers
the strike?
No, they're in a union. I never knew that a public library They're unionized. And get this, so I did a little research on that too. Wycliffe Public Library in my city is very small. They are not in union. Willowick Public Library, which is part of Willoughby Eastlake Public Library, they are union. And guess who it's tied in with?
Oh, boy. Who?
The Teachers Union of Ohio. Okay, Jake, I mean, back in the day, the state of Ohio used to pay to fund, they funded public libraries. No more. Public libraries are funded off the property taxes of the homeowners. So I suggest people that when they do their when they come out and say, well, somebody's eliminating this gas line or this or that, and when they came back and said, no, this is true. No, it's not. All I took the time was when I was listening to you was do a Google AI search. And that's what I'm up with. And I even put in for 2026. So no, they are not looking to do that. But all the newer home builds, if you notice, Ryan Homes popping up or whatever, all these new homes, they're all going electric.
Yes.
That's going to put more strain on the power grid, okay? So you don't really have a choice when you buy one of these new homes, all right? But this is what's going on. So I would suggest that people do their homework or research before they go out and do this. And oh, by the way, Willoughby Eastlake Schools will have on the ballot in November a 0.75% earned income tax on the ballot. And but you're hiring, and especially, have you done any research yet about the young girl from WOIO? And I sent you that information. They hired her.
Yeah, I have some info on that. I'm actually going to send it over to you by the end of the week because I'm still. Okay. I actually reached out to some people, and I'm waiting to hear back.
I mean, I'd like to know what her salary is.
Right. Yeah. No, and that's a fair question. That's absolutely a fair question.
I mean, why are you doing this? And you say, we might not have any money, but we need your income tax money now. We need your money from your paycheck. This is the way the schools are going because they know about the property tax movement, but otherwise. So now they're just going to go for an earned income tax.
Yeah, they're going to try to get it wherever they can.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I thank you for the time and allowing me to do this and, getting this information out. But anybody can do a Google AI search, verify what I shared with you about Lakewood, and just put in, is the city of Lakewood looking to eliminate natural gas lines 2026? They'll come up with the same answer I gave to you.
All right, Cheryl, thank you so much for the info and thank you for the call. Well, that's good.
Well, so far.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. No,
I wouldn't completely dismiss it because there are probably conversations.
Yeah,
about
they do some goofy stuff in Lakewood, but I mean, the low pressure lines is annoying because you're going to get less but probably pay the same amount. That's usually how that goes with things like that. So, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. But Cheryl, thank you. I mean, yeah, that's it's always good to look into stuff. We're going to take a break. When we come back, excuse me, we're going to talk about the SAVE Act because there's some stuff going on with that. We'll talk about that more when we return. This is the Jake Underwood Show. Welcome back to the Jake Underwood Show right here. Excuse me. I got a cough button now.
Yeah.
There it is. AM 1420, the answer. Wow, look at that, Greek.
And it works.
Yeah, Greek did all right, huh? We got a cough button now.
Sometimes, yeah.
Wow. Until this stops working.
Well,
how's that light?
what do you want, everything? Come on.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back right here, AM 1420, the answer 102.9 FM. It is the Jake Underwood Show. Search us on social media. We'll pop up there. You can watch a little bit behind the scenes, see what we're doing. Something happened. Something happened in Congress.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, right there. Whoa. They did something? No, but that blockade that was among conservatives, Max Miller being one of them.
Yes.
It broke. Yeah, they passed something last night.
What?
And yeah, things are starting to move. They're starting to move. This is going to sound strange, but the Sunshine Protection Act, daylight savings, that passed, so that's going to go to the Senate. The arguments that have been made against this are wild, by the way. But this is bringing new hope to the SAVE Act. Maybe there's some negotiations that are going on. Maybe they're talking back and forth because they're going to have. I'm trying to think. Nope, never mind. I'm confusing Ohio legislation with. I'm confusing the Ohio State House with Congress. Here we go. I'm aligned again. So the reason why this is a big deal is because they've talked about how we're not voting on anything.
Yeah.
Except for the SAVE Act, but this passed. They broke rank a little bit. They were able to. The blockade is fading. It's not like the Strait of Hormuz. That's blocked again. This is good to go. It's flowing. It's wide open.
Okay, but we're gonna break that for daylight savings. Like, doesn't that seem?
Well, that tells me that a deal's made.
It better be.
That tells me that the SAVE Act is probably gonna get going here, which is good.
Okay,
it needs to be.
I don't think the House has really been the problem with the SAVE Act. It's the Senate, so
come on.
It's the Senate.
Well, no,
so
I think
how many times can we send things to the Senate and it
Right.
just dies?
The major obstacle with it has been if they're going to add it to the defense spending bill.
Yeah.
I can't think of the technical term for it right now. But that's the main thing. And it sounds like that is going to happen. They're going to get that in there. Yes. And that's going to be passed. That's going to go up to the Senate. Now, what happens in the Senate, we don't know. Especially Mitch McConnell. What's going on there? I mean, even President Trump's like, what's going on with this? So Mitch McConnell's a pretty big question mark. We'll find out, what's going on there. But potentially, with the SAVE Act, the blockade going away, we might start to see things move forward. Remember, this is an 80-20 issue. 80% of Americans want voter ID. They want you to have to verify that you are a U.S. citizen or at least verify that it is your ballot that you are grabbing.
And I've got to say the other 20% have to be misinformed. They have to be misinformed. They don't understand exactly what's going on here.
I'm going to tell you that other 20%, they probably live, I don't know, I would say the gentrified area of Harlem. And they're the ones that think gumbo is not, it shouldn't have shrimp because shrimp is meat. And they walk around and they're the ones going, oh my gosh, I just feel so bad for the people who don't look like me because they can't get internet. They're those people. Yeah, they are those people. That's who that 20% is made up of. Not all of them. I'm sure there are some people that are just, I mean, they are entrenched in the, I was told this is bad, it's bad, Donald Trump bad. But that's, if I had to guess, that's what the makeup of all of that is. That's the makeup of that 20%. Because I'll tell you, I talk to people both sides, and I ask them the stuff like, well, I mean, what do you think? And I don't try to lean one way or the other when I have the talks with people, and I just go, well, what do you think of the SAVE Act? Mm-hmm. And for the most part, people are like, well, yeah, no, it makes sense. Well, yeah, I mean, if we're going to give everybody an ID who's a citizen, then yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
And I just kind of leave it at that. I just kind of like we were talking about on the after show yesterday with the flock camera stuff. And there were people that in the chat, they were talking about, I guess, down in Wayne County, there was a socialist group that is against flock cameras. So I said, right away, you're going to have those people that go, well, socialist groups against it. I'm for it. I love it. Give me more cameras. Like, you're just going to have those people that do that. And you're like, okay, well, that's weird. Weren't you just against it? Yeah, but I refuse to agree with a socialist. Like, yeah, they could have their reasons for not liking them, but you also have your reasons for not liking them. So that's kind of the same thing that we're looking at with this with the SAVE Act and the making sure that we're going to.
I mean, if two completely different sides don't like something, but for different reasons,
right?
That tells you that it's a lot worse than you probably thought.
Well, not only that, but it also tells you that this is something that people can agree on. That's the main thing, because we keep talking about how we've never been more divided. We're the most divided we've ever been. Really? Because then I don't know about that, because about 200 years ago there was a war over that division. So I wouldn't say that we're the most divided that we've ever been. I mean, does it seem like we are because everybody wants to get a like, click, or retweet on something that talks about how divided we are? Yeah, no, that's definitely going to give into it. That's going to be part of it. I think we have a lot of people that agree on a lot of things, the end goal of it, but they got a different way of getting there. And flock camera is one of them. The SAVE Act, I think you have people, because you're going to have people on the left that go, well, this is incredible because everybody should have an ID. Everybody should be able to do it because we're all people, and people are persons, and persons are people, and people are things, and we're all nouns. You're like, sure, dude, sounds good. All right, thank you. So support, yes, good. Then you talk to people on the right, and they're going to go, well, yeah, we want to make sure our elections are secured. We're not going to have another one stolen. Oh, okay, so you agree? Great. Like that's the way that we have to start looking at some of these. Like we just do.
I don't want anyone cheating. I don't want Republicans. I don't want Democrats cheating. Right. I don't want anyone cheating in our elections.
Well, and then so you brought up the Senate. The Senate has stalled the NDAA.
Really?
Yeah, they stalled.
Oh,
yeah, the Senate.
Kidding? Seriously?
Yeah.
I would have never. Wow.
Yeah, the Senate voted 50 to 46.
That's shocking.
Yeah, 60 votes were required. And I will say this: when it comes to Mitch McConnell, obviously that wouldn't have made much of a difference. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure that that's going to be brought up soon.
No, it doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. So I don't know. I'm curious as to why the Senate is against it. I have my ideas, but I'm not going to speculate because I don't know for sure. Mm-hmm. That's how that works. But yeah, once again, the Senate stopped it. I want to know, Kenny, what do you think about the daylight savings thing?
I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it because there's times where it's irritating.
Yeah.
But I also don't want I don't want sunrise to be 9 a.m. either,
Yeah, see,
that's weird.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, if they do it, okay, that's fine. But I like falling back because I get that extra hour.
Yeah, but you lose the extra hour. You lose an hour when you spring forward.
Yeah, but when you fall back.
But you lose.
Are you saying that we balance out?
Yes.
Well, not if I stay up extra late, then it's just like a regular night.
And then I could stop, being and doing math with my clocks that I don't change.
Yeah, see, right. You're sitting there because nobody knows how to change the clock in their microwave. That's really what this comes down to. People were sick and tired of trying to Google how to figure out how to change the clocks in their microwave. Because you press clock, you enter in the time, and you press clock again, and then it goes to 0. You're going, what are we doing here?
And then I hit start, and it's starting to warm up something. Nothing
right.
That's in there, or the cup of coffee I forgot was in there.
You forgot to press clock.
My mom used to do that all the time. Every time I open the microwave, there was a cup of coffee in there. I'd be like, really? Again?
That's funny.
Oh, shut up.
So when excuse me. So it seems like that because this has bipartisan support. So this could be something that actually happens. What was the vote was 308 to 116. So 308 for it. It was 194 Republicans, 114 Democrats voted yay. The nays and the Republicans were 21. The nays for the Democrats were 95. The no vote for Republicans were 4. The Democrats were 3. That's the way that the tally went. I heard arguments yesterday that they're like, underprivileged people with the sun, and people are sad when it's not sunny when they wake up. It's hard to see at night, so we shouldn't have people waking up at night. And I'm like, what?
I don't know.
Like, what are you just figure out which one the clock's to look like, Congress. There it is. That's how you want to know how much control the government has. They get to tell you when 9 o'clock is. There you go. And you know what? You know what's crazy? They can't even figure that out. This is the Jake Underwood Show. We're going to take a break. We're going to talk about the parasite. There's updates. We'll talk about that more when we return.
TJ's dog, is
No. We'll talk about that more when we return right after this. Welcome back to the Jake Underwood Show right here. AM 1420, The Answer, 102.9 FM, or look for us on social media. You can watch some behind the scenes, see what we're up to. We're on Rumble, X, YouTube. Go to jakeunderwoodshow.com to find all of that I just said, how that works. So we have some questions in the text, excuse me, about the daylight savings thing. So, I mean, my understanding of it is that it would just keep it what it is right now with the time. Mm-hmm. So we wouldn't fall back. Because somebody's like, which one would we keep? Well, we would keep this one.
I don't think we would want to spring forward and then lose an hour.
Right. Because then we would lose an hour.
Then
we would lose an hour forever. So, I mean, just because if they don't act, because like I'm thinking about this now. Because if they don't act, let's say the bill just sits there. Do we then fall? Do we then fall back in November and then we have to wait another year? Like, how is this going to work?
Yeah, maybe. Or we just don't spring forward. I don't know.
I know. See? Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Now you're where I'm at. Because the text at first I was like, oh, what a silly question. And then now I start thinking about it. I'm like, well, hold on. You know, what comes first? The chick? No, I'm joking. we got that answer the other day. No. So which one? Well, because I'm trying to think personally. I think I would rather keep the spring ahead. I'd rather lose the hour so then it is like how it is now.
Yeah.
Where it's lighter when you wake up. You brought it up, sunrise at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's crazy to me. Mm-hmm. Like that's like living in Alaska. Like they deal with that kind of stuff.
But you fall back. I think you want to fall back.
We want to fall back? Because if
you don't fall back as the days get shorter, because if we fall back, or if we fell back today, or last night, right now would be 9.
Oh, see, I don't like that.
Right now would be 9.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't think I like that. But I'll tell you how this is going to sound crazy, but if you're in my age range, this might be how you understand it. I think it's school. Mm-hmm. Because it was always when it was winter, because that's when we would fall back. You get on the school bus, it's pitch dark.
Black, yeah.
Like it's dark, it's night. Whereas when spring comes and you spring ahead, it's nicer.
Yeah.
You got the sunrise coming up.
No, I think you'd want to keep spring ahead.
Yeah, because you get more time in the sunlight then.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I heard somewhere that this was going to be left up to the states to decide what they wanted to do.
Well,
like that sounds insane to me.
You know what though? I don't hate that. I mean, Arizona, because I think it's Arizona and Hawaii currently, they don't fall back.
And I think there's something weird going on in Indiana, like where well, there's plenty of things weird going on in Indiana.
I was going to say that's okay.
But like I'm not sure if they fall back. Because I know at one point they didn't. Because my cousin lived out there, and they were a different time zone for like half the year. Like they were, I'm not sure.
So I mean, are we deciding? Texters, please, let us know which one would you prefer. Would you rather have what it is now, or would you rather fall back?
But
and that would be permanent?
You imagine you leave it up to the states, and Pennsylvania falls back. Pennsylvania and Indiana fall back, but we don't. Like, how confusing is that?
I mean, not really.
You're going from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. to 9 a.m. Like,
you're going back to the future, Marty. So yeah, right now only two states do not fall back, and it's Arizona and Hawaii, except the Navajo Nation. They do observe daylight saving time.
Well, if they do, why shouldn't we?
You said that's so sincere.
I mean,
that was the most sincere I've ever heard you say anything.
I mean, if it makes sense to them, they've lived on the land for thousands of years. Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah, the following U.S. territories do not change their clocks, and that's Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, American Samoa, and the Marina Islands. So yeah, that texter asked that, and I was like, wait a second, that's actually. That's the best question. Somebody said, Jake, here's the debate. Our latest sunrise is in the 8 o'clock. Is in the 8 o'clock hour in the morning. If we stay at the current time, that means The time for the sunrise will be 9 a.m. or in the middle of the winter. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to please everyone depending on how this goes. No, see, that I agree. That I agree with. Somebody else texted in from the 216. Real quick, that texting number. Let me know which one you want. If you want to fall back or if you want to stay sprung ahead. Sprung ahead, I guess. The number is 866-525-0955. Someone says when you fall back, you gain morning light. Is that right? When you fall back? Well, hold on.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Okay, so wait. So right now the sun comes up, like 7?
Okay.
7-ish, right? So if we fall back, that'd be a 6
It'd
o'clock?
be 6 o'clock. Yeah. So that's what I was saying. Like instead of 10:40 right now, it would be 9:40.
You know what? That might be the move.
That is the move.
That might be the move. Yeah, that might be the move. Let's see. Have you heard why the government came out with the daylight savings in the first place? It was a joke. It was a joke proposed by Ben Franklin, but much later it was actually initiated to get people to use less fuel during wartime. I thought it was a farmer's thing. I thought it was something with farmers.
I thought it was a farmer's thing.
You know what, though? The Ben Franklin, if you know about Ben Franklin, that actually makes a lot of sense. Like, he was just sitting there, he was drinking, he got done, skinny dipping in the Potomac River. And he's like, it would be hilarious if we went ahead and just changed the time. And they were all like, oh, very good. Yes. Oh, Benjamin, you are
We
so
can do
funny.
it twice a year.
Twice a year. Fall back, fall ahead, won't you? Very good. And then he went outside with his kite. And then somebody went, actually, our founding fathers wanted it. Let's do it.
Actually, that naked guy over there with the
Right.
kite, he actually made
He's
some
got
sense.
a great idea. Okay, so we would want to fall back then. Is that?
I think that's where I would want. I think we'd want to fall back because then we get back to where we were, and we don't lose that hour.
And then we will.
And then the government isn't stealing an hour.
Hold on. So
from
then
you.
you're telling me that the government is going to give us an hour?
No, because that's what we're gaining the hour that they stole already. If we
Well,
don't,
no. Right now we're even.
no, we're not.
No, we have
You
been.
start the year and you spring forward.
Do we pay less taxes during because they took the hour away? Do we not get taxed for that hour? Okay. So we want sunlight.
You lose an hour when you spring forward. So we're negative an hour right now.
Right now we are, yeah.
And then when we fall back, we get it back.
And so then we even out.
Okay.
So if we fall back,
And then we just pause it right there.
and then we just make sure that that's how we stay.
And then we should be on track.
Okay.
And
So
the
right
government
now-
doesn't
so
steal
right now-
enough of your money, you don't want them to steal your time as well.
Right. Yeah. And so it's somebody just asked, do you want it to be dark for your morning commute or your evening commute? That's a very simple way of putting that. Thank you, John. That's John.
Depends
Newberg.
on how long you work.
Well, no. Wow, we're getting deep. No, but okay. So average drive.
I mean, some
So-
people, it's already like that.
So if you work 9 to 5, do you want it to be dark in the morning as you're getting ready, and then you leave, and let's say you leave your house at 8 o'clock? Do you want the sun to be coming up and it be kind of light out, or do you want the sun to go down? Me personally, I'd rather have the sun going down on my way home.
Yeah, I'd rather it be lighter earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's
help wake you up. You end up being more productive because you get things done because it's actually light outside.
Yeah, Steven texted in and said it still won't fix the problem with the sunrise. In the wintertime, the sun will always be rising at 9 a.m. or later if we stay in current time. So we wouldn't stay in current time.
No, not in current time. We'd wait till we fall back.
Okay. So which one are they voting on here? It would keep it's the Sunshine Protection Act. The bill would make daylight saving time permanent. So that means when we fall back, it's permanent because that's the saving.
That's
right, because we're not springing ahead.
That's how I understand.
Am I understanding this?
Whether that's correct or not, I would be.
You know what? This is why the politicians get paid the money they do. Because these are the hard decisions.
Yeah, this is it, huh?
I'm going to lead. First thing I'm asking Max on Monday when we get him on, Congressman Max Miller. Daylight savings, yes or no? Which one is it? Can you tell us?
Fall back or spring ahead?
Yeah, are we falling back or are we springing ahead? Which one are we doing?
The government's stealing an hour from us.
Do we get taxed for that hour? That's the real question. Let's go to Jim. Jim wants to talk about this. Jim, you're in the air.
Hey, got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. This is for people who work outside. it's a great thing. It's a great thing that we have, people who are linesmen or tree trimmers or whatever it is. I mean, I don't want the sun to come up at 4:30 in the morning.
No.
So we push it up. We push it at spring forward. It's a great thing. I mean, you're talking about illuminating your house or whatever. I think it's the best thing since sliced bread. But it's the people who are working in a cubicle in air conditioning or a heating unit that never go outside.
Yeah.
They never ever go outside. So what? It doesn't make it. They're bitching that they think that they're robbing an hour of sleep from these people. It's not the case.
Right. So would you want to stay sprung ahead, or do you want to fall back an hour?
I want to keep it the way it is. That's why they put it in place.
Right, but Jim, what I'm asking is, because there's a real possibility that it ends up changing. Would you rather keep the hour, or would you rather be ahead?
I would rather keep it the way we do it. Spring ahead in the spring and fall back in the fall. That's what I want to do.
All right.
Keep it the same. It saves energy.
Okay. You know what? That's a good argument, Jim. Thank you. That's a good argument. It does save energy.
I know, but that wasn't the question. Was, do you want, if you had to choose one, would you rather spring forward or fall back, and then keep which one? The answers were A and B. There was no C. He's like, no, I'm not answering your question.
I know. Let's see. Somebody texted in this from John. John said, the drive-in is worse. People drive like maniacs regardless, but in the dark in the morning would be worse. Daylight savings is falling back. See, okay. So daylight savings is falling back. So we would keep it. We would gain the hour, we'd keep the hour.
Whichever one gives us back our hour, that's the one we want to keep.
Yeah, and then we got some other texts coming in about this. We'll get to those. We got to get to a break. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Jake Underwood Show right here, AM 1420. The Answer. We got a lot of texts coming in. So, real quick, my understanding of this is that we would no longer gain the extra hour in November if this passes.
But you're not gaining an hour. You're getting back your hour.
You would no longer get back your hour in November if this passes.
So they are stealing time from us.
So the government's stealing our time. They're stealing our money. They're stealing our wallets. They're taking our jobs. So we wouldn't fall back in November.
I don't like that.
Yeah, see, that's I don't know. There were some people that made that very clear. So thank you. Somebody said if the time passed today, you won't change your clocks at all. All the time. The time now will be forever. So when the dawn doesn't happen until after 8 in November, that will keep creeping later and later and later until after the winter solstice, and that's when it starts, that's when the change happens. And then he went on to say, this conversation just made me burn my lunch. Thanks, Jake. I burned my kibasi. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no. That's a tragedy.
It is. It really is. Somebody said
burnt kibasi is better than no kibasi.
Yeah, that's true. Kibasi is very good. Someone said, I think it makes sense to have kids walking / catching buses in the morning light and after school when it's still light. They went on to say that they wrote President Nixon when they were in second grade to keep daylight savings. So how about that? That's from Debbie in Chagrin Falls. Okay. And they got a response. They got a response from Nixon, a little booklet from the White House acknowledging that they did receive the letter. Well, that's pretty cool. I wrote the Browns once when I was 12 saying I should be the general manager. I didn't even get it. I got nothing.
I invited Metallica to my wedding.
Yeah?
They sent back the response card with an M, the Metallica M.
Yeah.
On the Mr. or Mrs. or whatever.
That's cool.
They couldn't come. But but they actually responded, which was cool.
No time fixation without representation. Well said. Somebody just texted and it said that. Let's talk to Gary. Gary's in Cleveland. Gary, you're in the air.
Yeah, you guys, it's spring ahead, fall back, of course, but you add an hour in the spring. That's why it's so light so long in the summer, and, of course, you lose that light in the winter. That's why it's black at 5 o'clock. But I got a great idea. Why don't we, instead of going ahead and back 1 hour, why don't we just do a half hour and just leave it? Why an hour? Give me a half hour, and that's done. Everything's done. 30 minutes is not going to make a difference. An hour makes a difference.
Gary, I think you figured it out because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it. It wouldn't change things drastically. It'd be enough change. No, Gary, I think you figured it out.
Okay, but what happened?
There you
go. But where's my other half hour that they stole?
You're not.
I mean, are they going to keep that half hour, or are they adding a half hour?
There's still 24 hours in a day, gentlemen. It's just
because now we're going to have a day that's got 23 or 24 and a half or 23 and a half. It's going to be.
It's always 24. It's just the clock changes.
Gary, I understand what you're saying, Gary. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
I think what Gary said made sense. Yeah, you do you just split the difference. You go half hour.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just split it. Boom. And then, instead of the sun rising at, 5 or 6 o'clock, then it's 6:30.
Okay, But that's going to throw a wrench into everything.
Wait, hold on. Do you base your morning schedule on the sun the sunrise?
I'm just saying. I mean, it's going to throw if you're.
It's just for one time.
Think about like programming a station. Think about
we don't do that here. Oh, you mean everywhere else? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just think about like everything that you do in a day, like that half hour. Like it's a lot easier to work with a full hour. That half hour. I mean, I get it. I understand what he's saying. You're splitting the difference,
right?
But I think that overcomplicates it. Now, granted, you're only doing it once.
Yeah, no, it's just a one-time thing, and then because time is just a social construct, man. What is time, man? But yeah. See now, Kenny. Yeah, I don't know. See, this is. I think the one texter brought up a good point when they said that you want kids to be getting on the buses and walking to school when it's light out. So you need to have the sun out a little bit. And I think you know what? I think the half an hour makes sense, Kenny. I really do. I think that makes more sense than Because especially the more that I think about it now, because if you remember, well, there's a few things to it. Just the sunlight in general, it's good for people. I don't mean to sound hippy-dippy here, but I am Maha guy. But, that would help. It's going to help people wake up in the morning. They're going to get, the adrenaline, we're waking up here of the sun as they're walking to the school bus, or you when you're driving to work or walking to school, whatever it might be. If you're downtown riding around on your scooter, just meet as you drive down the street in your walkable city. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would rather have it light. I think I would rather have it light early, and then dark, and then not have the nighttime.
I mean, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Have it light earlier.
Yeah.
Like you said, you got the kids, you got the farmers, you got people going to work. And, I understand the argument of, okay, well, if it's later, then restaurants and bars and stuff, could potentially gain more business. But, I mean, you're going to get your business anyways.
That's true.
People are going to eat. People are going to drink, regardless whether it's light outside.
Yeah. Let's go to Jeff in Brook Park real quick before we go to break. Jeff, you're in the air.
Hey, how about if we passed the bill and got rid of all the corruption in Ohio? I wouldn't mind paying an extra $2 or $3 on my electric.
You know what? I honestly, I'd be right there with you. If there was a bill where they go, all corruption's done, all the funding's cut off, but you got to pay a little bit more, yeah.
Well, why would we have to pay more when we're saving money by killing the corruption?
Yeah, the corruption takes care of everything, actually.
Yeah.
Property taxes, everything. We don't have to put the tax on anything else, because just get rid of the corruption and we don't have to tax anything else.
The amount of money the amount of money that we would save just by finding the corruption and just cutting it off would be incredible. Jeff, we got to go to break, but thank you for the call. The corruption. Yeah, no, I agree. This is the Jake Underwood Show. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about this a little more because we still have some texts coming in. And then, we got some other stuff to dive into. We'll be back right after this.
But what happens here in Cleveland and across Ohio matters more. That's what we talk about every day. This is the Jake Underwood Show on AM 1420. The Answer.
Go ahead. Your mic's on.
I know. Sorry about that. Welcome back to hour number 3 of the Jake Underwood Show right here, AM 1420, The Answer. Oh, man.
Stop it.
I apologize. I apologize. We're talking about time change. We have some people on hold. If you want to call in and talk about whether, we should keep the hour, give it back half an hour, we got that as a suggestion. The number is 216-901-0945. And the text just keep on coming in. That number is 866-525-0955. Let's see here. Somebody texted in, they said, when I was in school, we needed to be out at the bus stop at 7:06 a.m. No matter what they do with this time change, leave it or move it an hour, you'll still have a sunrise in the morning at 8 a.m. or later at 9 a.m. or later in the wintertime. So it doesn't really solve the problem of kids walking to school in the light.
Okay, so should we do 2 hours?
2 hours.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. This
wasn't a serious question.
No. Oh, okay. All right. Listen. We're listening to every suggestion here. Let's see. This is from down in Lakewood. It says the situation of the majority when people who work in offices get out of work, it's already dark in the winter at 5 p.m. Excuse me. That's depressing and unhealthy for many adults. Well said. It's not like that for kids in the morning. And today, they mostly get driven to school by their parents anyways. Keep daylight saving times. Let it stay lighter. Who
was that?
That's Don in Lakewood.
All right, stop being selfish, Don.
Oh, jeez.
Think about the children.
Oh, yeah, what about the children?
Not all kids get driven to school. In fact, quite a number of them, I would say vast majority actually take bus.
Do your kids get driven to school?
My daughter, because they don't bus the high schoolers for some reason.
Oh, well, are they trying to pass a levy?
No.
That's why they took our busing away when I was in high school.
I don't think they are.
Oh, interesting.
They just stopped busing at high school.
Somebody said 2 hours, not dark until midnight. I kind of like it. That's from John. Thank you, John. Let's go to Jack in Cleveland. He wants to talk about daylight savings. Jack, you're in the air.
Hello, Jacob Underwood. How are you?
I'm well, Jack. How are you?
Still fighting. I'm taking Donald J's advice. And get well settled, and hello, Kenny.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, I've always had an interest in like electronics, mechanical things, and later on in life, I got interested in biology. And I read books, on your own body. And I read this book by Dr. Bernard Jensen. It's on the human eyes. It's called iridology.
Mm.
And my suggestion would be this. Since they run tests on humans all the time, I would suggest they run a test on average human beings that watch the sunrise as they get up in the morning and then vary that sunrise 1 hour or so like we're talking, and to see if it affects the body in a positive way or a negative way, because sunlight, when it enters your eye, it affects all the organs in your body because all the organs in your body travel through the eye. And so if they would measure to see if there are any debilitating effects by varying these times, God help the people who live in Alaska or the South Pole. But up here where we live and the earth tilts, during the solstices, it tilts away. It tilts toward the sun, in the summer, and then in the fall it tilts away and all that stuff. But I would be curious on what they would find on the looking at the horizon at a steady time all year round, or as the time varies. Because when you look at the horizon, the sunlight's being filtered by the atmosphere of the earth. So that would change the spectrum of light going into the eye, which would affect our overall general health. So I would like to see the results of those long-term tests. And let me get off the air before some Doctors Association comes after me. Hey, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, Jack, glad you're feeling better. Last time he called in, he had the stuff going on with the allergies and all of that. So I'm glad he's feeling better and you sound better, and thank you for the call. Don takes back in. He said, in quotes, "It's all about the children. You sound like Democrats."
How dare you, Don? You dare.
Yeah, see, that's it. It is interesting, though, because, when it comes to the sunlight and everything, it does a lot of good for the human body. Mm-hmm. It really does. Like, there is science behind that. So it just, I don't know.
That was one of the craziest things during COVID, too. They wanted you to stay indoors and stay out of the sun. Why would you stay out of the sun?
Yeah. Yeah, no, don't do that. You always want sun.
Yes.
Yeah, you always want sun. Yeah, you can't do that. Let's see here. Somebody said, time change doesn't matter to me. Either way, I'm working sunrise to sunset. Well said. That's from Don Nutter, a friend of mine from back in the day, back at the Cloverleaf days. No, since middle school. Thank you for listening, Don Nutter. That's how that works. No, he's out. No, to be fair, he's working construction, so he actually is out. Yeah. Sunrise to sunset. He does some crazy work.
Probably even before sunrise and after sunset.
Yeah,
sometime.
right. So, yeah, I don't know, because now I'm thinking about, because like I said to start all this off, I go back to because I really didn't ride the bus in high school. I'm going to be honest. Like I said, they cut busing. They were like, pass a levy or else. And we went, no. And they went, get a ride. But middle school, I remember having to wake up and, it would be cold. You have the winter. Mm-hmm. It's dark. And you just felt different. There was that lag. And now that I know what I know about the sun and the effect that it has on the body and everything, do we feel that lag because, it's an hour, so it's weird, and we go, oh, yeah, I still think it's this, or is it because we have less sun in the morning? Do we kind of feel that step behind because we don't have as much sun?
Yeah.
When we fall back.
Yeah, I think that's definitely adds to it.
Well, see, but I think most people, they in their heads, they go to, okay, well, all right, well, it's because, we're groggy because we're not used to the time change yet. That might be some of it.
That's probably part of it.
But is a lot of it the fact that, we're used to having the sun, our bodies are used to having a sun when we go through, the process of walking or walking to the bus.
Charge your battery.
Right. Like, and you're not getting that charge?
Yeah. I guarantee that's part of it.
Ooh. See, this is so much deeper than we thought it was.
Who would have thought?
Right. This is interesting.
A simple clock change.
For me, going back to the Triv days, this ranks almost as high as Rittman or Seville. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, ask someone who does, because that was an epic debate. But Rittman or Seville was it was so good. But yeah, I think for me, knowing what I know, I think I would want it to stay lighter, to be lighter earlier. Mm-hmm. And so somebody texted in, they said, I'd prefer my evenings to be brighter so I could do more after work. That makes sense. So, would you want to?
I don't know. You're gonna get things done anyways.
Yeah.
One way or another. Whether you gotta wait till the weekend or what, you'll get things done.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll have updates. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about some changes that are being made to ice. I don't necessarily like it, but it makes sense given the context of it. That's the main thing to remember, is the context of things, and it seems to be temporary. We're going to talk about that when we come back. This is the Jake Underwood Show. Welcome back to the Jake Underwood Show right here, AM 1420, The Answer. If you're watching the stream, you saw what Kenny and I were laughing about, and what I'm trying very hard to keep it together because that was honestly one of the funniest things, and it was very funny. Go check it out on the Rumble or the YouTube or on X. When you search the Jake Underwood Show, you'll see it pop up there. Speaking of the Rumble, somebody texted in the chat and said for the morning routine, they said they wake up and almost immediately they read scriptures with a bright light for about 10 to 20 minutes, just in case the sunlight is inconsistent. Mm-hmm. So because the cortisol gets going because you could have bad and good, and that light, it kind of gives you that adrenaline to get going. That might be what I need. I just need brighter lights in my house. Because there are some mornings I'm like, ooh, walking around like a zombie.
And a lot of mornings I'm walking around like a zombie. That's why I typically shower in the morning as opposed to at night, just to help wake me up.
Yeah, see, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. That actually makes a lot of sense. What's going on out there? What is going on out there?
I don't know. My door's open. So
Greek's
is it bleeding over?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay. It's not bad. It just sounds like Greek's like squawking or something. So I was just wondering what happened there. I don't know. They might be listening. Who knows? I guess we'll find out if he reacts. So as I said, we're going to talk. There were some changes made to ICE. Not to switch it up there, but yeah, we're going to keep an eye on the daylight saving story. That's going to be a big thing we keep an eye on. So, talking about some of the changes with ICE, we didn't really cover. I really didn't cover it here. What happened the latest in Maine, just because there was a lot of speculation about it, and from the moment it happened, I had heard different stories about what had happened. If the person was trying to drive away, if they weren't, if they pulled them out of the vehicle, like there was a lot of different stuff. And I go, okay, I'm not touching that until some things come out about it. Mm-hmm. And this happened, as I said, up in Maine. Which I'm not going to talk about him anymore after this. I want to remind you, Graham Plattner, when he resigned, one of the things he said in his little tweet that said goodbye, in a statement, he said blank, fill in the blank, ICE. So I'm not saying that this is all a part of the rebel rousing of somebody who was a placeholder, but I'll tell you, as more time goes on with that idiot and the spotlight's on him, you see right through the facade that was trying to be built up for this guy. That's all I'm saying. So it's like I said, it's only temporary. The last I saw, it's about 2 weeks this is going to last. Now, excuse me. So right now, ICE says that there is a temporary pause, not a change in the policy itself, but the agency is reviewing vehicle stop procedures after 2 fatal shootings in Texas, which happened last week in Houston, and then now in Maine, resulted in people getting shot and passing. Now, listen, I'm not questioning that a vehicle was going at an agent. I'm not questioning any of that. We're just talking about the policy that is in place. So while it is while it's in review, they're actually stopping police vehicle pursuits. I said police because I thought of the consent decree. But they're stopping the vehicle pursuits. So,
not all of them, though.
Not all of them.
What I understand is okay. Not all of them. They're scaling it back. But the most violent and the most I want to say heinous crimes committed by these illegal immigrants. The worst of the worst, they're still going to go after.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's it. It didn't exactly say. You said it a lot better than everything that I read said it, because it was very wishy-washy. It was, yes, it stopped until further training is done and conducted, and until they understand the new procedures. And then I also read that, so I wasn't sure, so I wasn't going one way or the other with it.
Yeah,
but
from what I understand, the worst of the worst, they're still going to go after the exact same way that they always did. But they're scaling back lesser criminals, I guess.
Right, okay. Because, and looking at the context of it, and look, it aggravates me. I think they should be able to do what they have to do. They have a job. That's what they're supposed to do. But when you look at the context of it, once I saw the numbers, I went, okay. So it's about 28 deaths in total. Okay. 19 of those were because of it happened in a vehicle related, whether it was arrest, chase, whatever it might be. It involved a vehicle. 9 of those were U.S. citizens. Okay. That I get. I understand. Let's take a look at it. I'm not saying dial it back. That's what they're doing for a little bit to make sure that they get the right procedures in place. But yeah, do what you got to do. Look, ultimately, ICE is here to help. I know that there are some people, even on the right, that disagree with that. I've had some debates with people where they're going, nah, they're overstepping. It's not okay. I'll listen to the argument. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, but okay, I get okay. Yeah, government. Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, but when you have all the rhetoric and all the hate and violence that are thrown at them on top of
how do you
them trying to do their job,
how do you expect them to act when people are throwing rocks at them? It's really,
we're trying to run them over with a car.
People throwing rocks, they're throwing batteries. It's like a 1980s dog pound. They're just standing there and you got rocks, batteries, all these different things being pelted at you, and then on top of it you go, hey, stop your vehicle, and instead of stopping, they actually floor it. What do you think is going to happen? It's like I've said time and time again, whether it's police or ICE, that's how quick. Boom. That's how quick you have to decide. How'd you decide? Well, if you chose wrong, you're dead. It's really, for these officers, that's really how quick it is. It's a blink. It happens that quickly. And next thing you know, you're on the ground. Next thing you know, you're passing. It should not be taken lightly. Now, I will say this: I don't think Secretary Mullen is going to take it lightly.
No, I don't think he will.
I think that there was some pressure there with Maine, given everything that's going on there. And I'm not saying it was for political reasons, but Susan Collins being able to do this and for them to actually look at it, that's going to win her big points in Maine. Mm-hmm. And you know what? If we're at almost 30. Yeah, let's look into it. Maybe there's something, because this is also the way that I'm looking at it. That means 30 situations, if not more, because we only know the deaths that happen. We don't know what, or even how many ICE officers have gotten hurt in this. We don't know. So there's something that needs to change, because now at that point, if the ICE officer is being put in a position where they feel their life is at risk, that they have to pull out their weapon, draw their weapon, that tells me that there is a disconnect there somewhere with this protocol, because it's putting them in some situations that I know they don't want to be in, despite the trends on social media of what's trending and this crazy whacked out things you might read. No ICE officer wants to just go kill someone. I you know what? I'd bet my paycheck on that they're not going into work going, I can't wait to do this today. Somebody texted in and said, comply and you'll live. Bozo, well said. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I'm also looking at it from the ICE officer's point of view, where I'm going, okay, there's something missing in this protocol and the way that they're going about it, that the ICE officers feeling like their life is at risk also.
Maybe it's a social worker. Maybe they need to bring some social workers with them.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Maybe that's what's missing.
Yeah, maybe that's what's missing from the protocol. I don't know if it's more, like checkpoints, which doesn't sound great, but
see, I think that would increase this kind of behavior.
See, I think, well, I don't know though, because I think of it like a DUI checkpoint.
Well, yeah, that's why I think that would increase. This
really?
behavior. Yeah, they're already behind the wheel.
They're
already behind the wheel.
Yeah. I don't know though, because I think you're going to have the people that go the other way. They're going to try to go around it. I think that's I think in their head they're not going to go, oh, I have to run this person over. I think we're just avoiding it. And then at that point you have officers watch, and then you see where they're going.
Yeah. And then that's going to escalate out there. Either way, they have to do their job.
Well, yeah, either way they have to do their job, but I think there are ways to go about it. Like I said, I'm looking at it. Something is going on. There's a step missing in this protocol, and I'm not an expert on it, but there's a step or something missing that this often they're feeling that their lives are at risk. Something's got to be done, not only for the people that are getting pulled over, but also for the officers. That's where my mindset is with it. So take a look. Hopefully there's something they could think of. Oh, well, you know what? This is actually missing. Now, including this, they are going to have body cams. Right now they only have body cams for about half of them, half of the officers out there. So that's also causing some issues. But put a body cam on, and it's going to work the same way it did with the police. You release that body cam, and people are going to go, oh, okay, that's not exactly what we thought it was. This is the Jake Underwood Show. We'll talk about this a little more when we come back. Also, I'll update you on the parasite numbers because it's increasing. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the final half an hour of the Jake Underwood Show here on this Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dudes, and it is July 15th, 2026, and we're talking about ICE. They're making some changes. They're looking at protocol. And Dennis Polk, our friend and brother in Christ from Liberty Valley Church, he texted and he said, let's face it, the American left hates the very existence of ICE and all other agencies that enforce the laws against illegal immigration. They don't want any laws that would prevent or limit illegal immigration because they fully support the idea that America must be a country without borders. Nothing ICE can or might do will ever be sufficient. We must appreciate that simple fact. That's well said. That's well said. Like I said, the way that I'm looking at it, what can we do, if anything can be done? What can we do to make sure those ICE officers aren't in that position? That's where I'm coming at it from. Look, criminals are going to be criminals. People who break the law will break the law. Like that's just how it works. Because you have to understand too the mindset of some of these people, especially when they're here illegally. The last thing they want to do is be arrested. So in that moment, to them, in their head, it might be life or death.
Fight or flight.
Right, and that's what's going to kick in. And so there's not going to be much that they can do, but take a look and see. You know, that's why it's smart to do this. Pause it for a bit. Let's see what we could do.
When you said what was the numbers? 30?
Right around 30.
Right
yeah,
around
I think
30,
it was 28.
Okay, and how many of those were U.S. citizens?
9.
9.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you got 9 people out there that were brainwashed by by the media, thinking that this is a bad thing, and they're out there as freedom fighters and as
these are the truth seekers.
Yeah, the truth seekers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you got these 9 people out there that are extremely misled.
Yeah.
That don't understand what is going on, or maybe they do, and they're just sacrificing themselves for for their quote unquote neighbor.
Yeah.
That's never going to end.
Right.
That's not going to end. So regardless what we implement here, that's always going to be a part of this.
No, and you're right. And I understand that. What I'm saying is, see what we could do about making sure the ICE officers are safe.
Yeah.
That's all I want. That's all I want here.
Body cams on all of them, without a doubt.
Right,
will help.
If we got to pause daylight savings for a little bit, and permanent time change to make sure that ICE has all of them have body cams, then yeah, let's do that. Like that needs to be a top priority. And honestly, I think it should have been from day one when it came to ICE. Because of the reputation, because of the way that people are going to try to bring down that operation, I should say. They got to do everything they can to make sure that, you said this happened. That's not what happened. This is actually what happened. And you know what? If it did happen the way that they said it did, then that person needs to be removed. Mm-hmm. But the body cam is going to protect them. It's going to protect the people around. That's definitely the right call. So they're already starting. Right? They're already starting. They're looking at it. They're starting to make little changes that are going to help. Let's just keep it going. That's the main
part
thing.
of the problem, too, is when you have government shutdowns, that stalls all of this.
That's true also.
You're not getting extra funding for things, that stalls everything.
Yeah.
So if the Democrats didn't shut down the government, what was it, twice within the last year, we wouldn't have, or at least partial.
Yeah.
We may have already had body cameras on all of these ICE agents at this point.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, whatever they got to do, just make sure that, make sure the officers are safe. That's the main thing. I got to give an update on the parasite because, the numbers are going up. And like I said, this better not turn into another COVID. If they start shutting down businesses and stuff because of explosive diarrhea, it's
getting close to election time, so
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And I will say, I learned a trick from local media last night as I was watching these reports. They don't even try to say the name. Cryoporiasis, they don't even try to say it. They just say the parasite. Okay. that might be where I do what I start doing. But Ohio's starting to see cases tick up. This is according to the CDC. I believe the numbers in Cuyahoga County was 95 in Cuyahoga County, and about 400 cases are reported in the state right now, which is well above the typical count, which is around 70. So when Ohio does it, we do it. and it's apparently happening. So, they just give the warning. They say, if you can't tough it out, go seek help. If it's getting really bad,
antibiotics might be needed,
which is crazy. I mean, Michigan is more than 3,000.
See, it started in Michigan. Can't trust those.
This is the Michigan poo, and it's terrible, honestly. A lot of people, they say, but sir, what happened in Michigan? How did it start? Well, I think it started in Minnesota. Minnesota, they had all that fraud. It was terrible, wasn't it? And now people are having a hard time. They're having a very hard time with the parasite. So that's just the update. Just make sure you're washing your fruits and your vegetables. And because, look, I know we joked around, and I'm like, I could lose some weight. If this happens to me, listen, first of all, Greek better have the Comrex ready because I'm doing the show from home. Like I won't call off, but that might be some.
If you're doing it from home, you're gonna need a home dump, not dump button, cough button. Maybe both.
Yeah, right.
You might need both.
Yeah, it's just Just be careful. But like I brought it up yesterday, and I want people to keep this in their head with this. Measles, all these different things, they're going to try to blame it on whoever, but you have to understand when the borders were left open, people were brought here. There were different standards that were brought that they brought with them. I brought up go online, you could see it.
Different levels of cleanliness.
You see the way that they prepare food in other countries. I've seen videos from India. I've seen videos from Pakistan, and just it's actually crazy to the point that I'm watching and I'm going, I wouldn't go anywhere near that.
It's disgusting.
Right. I wouldn't go anywhere near that just because there is that level of cleanliness that we're used to in this country. People prepare food with gloves on their hands. If they don't, we look at them like they're crazy. So we're going to.
And and that's the thing too. If you're cooking with your feet, are you really washing your hands after you go to the bathroom?
Yeah,
right? That's that whole thing, and that's how these things spread.
Like I said, there was the video going around of, and it's not the first time I've seen this. That's why I'm commenting on it. If it was just a one-time thing, I wouldn't be making a deal of it. New York City, Times Square, they have those silver trash cans that are built into the ground, and this woman is cutting up a watermelon on top of the trash can, on the lid.
Delicious.
And she's chopping it up, putting it into like a smoothie type, and I'm just looking, I'm going, what? Not that I would have bought from a vendor like that anyways. Because I mean, the streets, like food truck, completely different. Food truck, you could look in there, see if it's clean or not. You'd be like, all right, yeah, no, they're keeping up with it. They got gloves on, okay. But yeah, she didn't have gloves on. She's just sitting here chopping up this thing, and I'm like, come on, guys. Like, no wonder we're getting sick. No wonder there are parasites being, created, coming in and affecting us, because there's, like I said, there's a certain level, whether you want to talk about vaccines, a lot of people in America are vaccinated. You want to talk about the different standards of health. You want to talk about the different standards of cleaning. When the people are coming here, there's a certain standard that we are used to, and our bodies are used to. Our bodies are used to digesting certain things a certain way. And when it gets interrupted, what happens? You're going to get sick. Plus, on top of that, now you add a parasite that's going to add to it. Just saying, just be careful. You're going to have people bringing in new germs. You're going to have all that stuff. That's why they quarantine people. When they go to a certain country, they come back. You got to hang out for a day or two. That's why they do that. Because there are germs and sicknesses and all the stuff that comes from certain places. I'm not going to say any certain country because it's nothing like that. This isn't targeted at anybody in particular. It's just, these are the facts. You have a wide open border. You're going to have new diseases. You're going to have new sickness. You're going to have new parasites coming in and affecting the people who are not immune to it. That's just science. We're following the science. This is the Jake Underwood Show. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it's going to be the final segment. We'll put a bow on the show, if you will. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the final segment of this Wednesday, my dudes. It's a Wednesday edition. It is July 15th, 2026. This is the Jake Underwood Show right here. AM 1420, The Answer, 102.9 FM, or search the Jake Underwood Show on social media. You can watch some behind the scenes there. We talked about a lot today. I want to remind everybody one more time. We had Adam Miller on earlier in the show, and we were talking about some legislation that we want passed to help the veterans out. It's the TCAVA. It's the Take Care of America's Veterans Act. And if you want to find out more about that, how to get involved with just moving that along, the website is cv4a.org. And we had Adam Miller on earlier from Concerned Veterans of America with the Ohio branch, just talking about how it would affect things here in Ohio. It sounds like it would be pretty good. So, if you want to help move that along, once again, that website, it is cv4a.org to move that along. I also want to say thank you. I haven't done it yet today. Last night I had the opportunity to go and hang out with the Wham! Young Republicans. Wham! And then also the Wayne Medina, Wham! Young Conservatives, and then the Wayne Medina Young Republicans. And we also got to, we sat down with State Senator Al Landis. That guy's awesome. I mean, really smart, down to earth, just doing it for the right reasons. And it was great. I got to meet some people who I've talked to a few times, over, whether it's over the phone or, over chat, different things like that. So it was great being out there. They got a nice headquarters out there in Wayne County. Like Medina's is nice, but Wayne's has a lot of good space, and no, it was very nice. And it was
Step it up, Medina.
Wow. Well, I didn't say that. That was not me. But yeah, it was very cool. It was we talked about different state legislation. The best part about it, I talk about it a lot, is just give us a chance. When I say us, I mean the people, the young Republicans, the people that are under 35, or I think technically a young Republican's 38. Give us a chance. Let us talk. We'll talk to you. And the nicest thing about it was the state senator Landis. He basically just came in and he was like, "These are the bills that we're working on. You guys want to hear about it?" And listen, anybody else who's not interested in politics, they would have fallen asleep. That group, we are just so nerdy when it comes to things like that. To the point, Senator Landis, he's going, "Are you guys am I boring you?" And we're like, no, keep going. What else? What other bill? So it was.
What provisions are in this one?
Literally, what edits are being made? What is going to happen in Lame Duck? What should we be looking out for, sir? It was very cool to be out there, and it's just fun to get involved and to watch other people get involved. And it was a great event, a lot of fun. 10, 15 people showed up, which if a young Republican event, that's big. That's big because a lot of times, and it's funny because it's starting to become kind of a bit with some of them. We hear certain answers to questions, or and somebody will go, and that's why they don't show up. Talking about representation and just, well, what do you think about this? And they hear the answer and they go, that's why Republicans don't show up. So they have a lot of solutions to things, and I'm actually trying to get a date down to get them in here to do a live. We did the Young Republican special. It was, New Year's Eve. That was so long ago. Okay. Wow. Eve. That was over 6 months ago. So yeah, we got to check in with them before some of them go back to school, because some of them are in high school and they're this involved. So we're going to do everything we can to get them back in here, do a live show, maybe take some calls. Put them on live radio. That'll be smart. But that's what we're going to do. But yeah, a big thank you. And also thank you to State Senator Landis. I mean, he won an election by 8 votes.
Wow.
Yeah, you want to talk about the importance of just getting out there and supporting the candidate that you like. 8 votes. Really think about that. I know that we don't think that elections are, they get that close and I don't make that much of a difference. 8 people made the difference with that one.
I bet that happens way more than people realize.
I think it does. Yeah, especially locally.
Yeah.
At the local level, yeah, you'll have that a lot. I mean, how many times when you're watching the news and you're seeing the numbers and it's only decided by 50 to 75 votes and you're going, wow. Just imagine if your street didn't show up to vote. Everybody on your street went, nope, not doing it. That can sway an election locally. So yeah, 8 votes. And I mean, I believe he said he oversees 3 counties. So 8 votes. Absolutely crazy to think about. So, if you're ever in your mind, if you're going, it's not going to make a difference. I don't need to go vote in that primary. I don't need to go vote in November. It's not a presidential election. Doesn't really matter to me. Well, no, it does. It matters a lot. And every vote, it carries a weight. And the good thing is, if you really want to get people mad, you could just tell them. You could say, I'm glad my vote cancels out yours, and watch how mad they get. Yeah. That's one of the best ways to end an argument. When you're sitting there and you're going back and forth and it's not clicking to them. You're like, I want to walk away, but they're just going to keep talking my ear off. I'm glad my vote cancels out yours.
And hopefully that dissuades them from voting at all, so yours doesn't cancel out their vote.
No.
It actually adds to.
No, because they're leftists. They'll vote twice then. No, that's no.
That's why, honestly, that's why we've got to get out and vote every single time.
Yep.
It can't just be presidential elections. Right. That's why we got President Trump in the White House, because we did make it too big to rig. That message got home. That message sunk in. It has to stay there, though.
Yeah, and we have to do the same in November. We do.
Every primaries, every time that you can make your voice heard with your vote, you need to do it.
Yeah, we just got to show up. That's really what it comes down to. Is just showing up. But that was a great event last night. It was very cool to. I mean, he doesn't represent me, but I mean, you could tell he does a good job. He was ready for questions. He just kept going. He's like, any other questions? What do you guys got? And we're like, no, can you talk more about legislation? What's going on? What bill number was that? And I'm like sitting there taking notes because, I'm a nerd for legislation. And so now I know which ones to watch. And a lot of them would have impacts, pretty big impacts. So I'm following those. And then, when it comes to the time of me going, hey, I got to warn you guys, this is going to happen. Or, hey, you guys might want to support this. Let them know. We'll be able to do that, which I'm all about. It's so important to get people engaged and just ready to go, just rearing. Let's go, like a football game. That's the main thing. And then we'll see what goes on with the daylight savings.
It's just crazy to me that we're even doing this.
Yeah, I mean, because now we kind of moved on from it, but some people are still like texting in about. Down in Lakewood texting the left. Who's going to pick our lettuce if we deport them? Guess now we're finding out. That's true. No, that's true. That's Whew. Yeah, be careful. Just wash your food. Just make sure, because I don't want that happening to anybody.
No.
Yeah, nobody needs to be sliding into first when there's not a when there's not a game going on. Yeah. I mean, it's All-Star break right now, so there's no games going on, so nobody needs to be doing that. That's the best way I could put that.
Yeah, the game was last night. When do they start up again? Is it next week or is it this weekend?
I think it's this weekend. But yeah, Guardians did. I know we're coming up to it, but Guardians had a great showing last night. They had Parker Messick, good young pitcher. Cade Smith, I think he leads the AL in saves. And then Travis Bazzana, I think is his last name. I think I'm saying that correctly. Second baseman.
Sure.
He played well.
Okay.
He's Australian.
Oh, the Aussie.
Yeah, the Aussie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played well. They were picked by
follow as much as I should.
I like the younger guys.
Yeah.
Mostly because when I like Will Benson, Nolan Jones both were traded. Typical. But like I followed them when they were with the captains because that's I was at the broadcasting school. They did captains coverage. So I liked following them and seeing what they were going to do, and a lot of these players plus working down the dial. It's just in the back of my head. Well, what are they up to? So, and I knew people that were there in Philly last night, so it was fun they're NL fans, so to text and be like, Guardian took your guy out, huh? Oh, that's too bad. So, that's too bad. Guardians win again. Go Cleveland. But it was, and it's it's just fun to watch. Hopefully they win something. That'd be great. This has been the Jake Underwood Show. Thank you, everybody, for listening on this Wednesday, my dudes. We're halfway through the week. Tomorrow's Thursday, and today it was July 15th, so we're halfway through the month, too, right about. So
it still is July 15th.
It still is.
Yeah.
That's right. Have an incredible day. Tell someone about Jesus today. Give them some good news. We talked about a lot of bad, so, lighten their day up a little bit. You're almost there. Go get some lunch. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.